Hi everyone, welcome to V Celestio Tarot. This is the November general read for all of my Aries out there. I'm trying to keep it general, but we'll see what messages and what Spirit wants you to hear at this moment in time. So let's begin. Okay, what is out for Aries in November? What is out for Aries in the month of November? Okay, a few things. Why do you feel like you aren't doing enough in the world? It's interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're at odds with yourself right now. What I'm seeing is, yeah, there's a bit of turmoil in you. It's like when you, I think some of you, okay, there's a few messages. Some of you really want a break. You're like, I need a vacation. I need a pause. I need to get away. And when you think of taking care of yourself, you're like, that's so irresponsible. How could I ever think about like taking time for myself? Like for some reason you won't let yourself have nice things. Or some of you might have been indulging a little too much, where you have to be a little more cautious about the spending that you might be doing, or some of you really have to grapple is, how do I find peace? And I think some of you are kind of like, oh, I might have resorted to this way and this way, but realizing that like they were temporary happiness and they weren't fulfilling happiness, if that makes sense. Like some of your coping mechanisms to help you find peace might not have been the most helpful to your success or your actual long-term well-being. Also, I think some of you might have met someone or are going to meet someone for the Four of Wands to come out, for that to be completion, but like the standards of like, oh, well, like, I know some of you like try to rush things, or you're like, well, we haven't reached this point and this point, but you're not enjoying what the relationship is at its point now. You're just like thinking about like, okay, are we going to get to this point? Are we going to get to this point? And you're not living in the moment. Like, I think you're thinking 10 steps ahead instead of just like being grateful for what's happening now. Okay, let's get some clarity on these cards, please. Let me get some clarity on these cards. Yeah, a lot of fire energy, which, yeah. There might be, okay, a few messages. Some of you might have a tendency to be very controlling, and you worry that you're like, I've been taking care, like, some of you, there might be, like, something you've been working on that you've, like, I put so much energy in this, I'm doing all the work involved, and I am exhausted. Like, you're like, I have been taking on all of this position of power, and, like, I'm not really, like, it feels like a very much a frustration of, like, all the work you're putting in. But also, some of you might be like, I want the result of what I've done now. Like, you're like, I've been working so hard and nothing is coming to fruition in the way that I wanted to, and you're holding yourself to some absurd timeline. And then 10 of Disc, Wealth. Like, I think some of you might actually be, you might be stressed out or thinking about like, oh, I'm doing this and this, when are things going to come together? But in the month of November, it's like, oh shit, yeah, like these things will come together when they're meant to be. And for me, that might mean like you might, for some reason, like I heard like writing or producing some kind of piece where it's going to kind of bring success in a weird, unexpected way in your life. I'm going to put two more from these. Let's get two more. No, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you're moving into a better state. Yeah. This is so interesting. But I heard that like the idea is two things coexisting. You can have the light and dark within yourself coexist. I don't know why that is like a phrase that came up, but for me, okay, so the Princess of Cups, like that means like for me, emotional fulfillment, like finally feeling like you're at a place where you're feeling emotionally fulfilled, but also like for some reason it feels like you're the one who did the work and you're the one who got yourself here. Like I'm feeling like you're finally going to be like, okay, I've come a long way and I'm going to be grateful for how far I've come. But then with that, the acknowledgement of like, okay, I can have bad days and good days, and these two can coexist. My anxiety can live within my happiness, like understanding that like the two parts of you that often seems at odds, like, okay, no, I shouldn't be so mean when I have bad days. I can recognize that, like, these bad days help me enjoy the better day. Like, it's a very specific message that I'm not phrasing or doing justice at all. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like you're going to have, like, this inner knowing of, like, okay, I need to give myself I need to give myself a break and stop being so damn hard on myself. All right, can we get some clarification, angels? Can we get some clarification for my Aries out there? Can we get some clarification for my Aries out there? You're not trusting your intuition. Yes, you need to trust your intuition, and that might be something you struggle with a lot. Also, your dreams are very prevalent in the month of, like, your dreams are trying to tell you something in the month of November, so start keeping a journal or something. But, oh yeah, also, like, sometimes your mind is your biggest enemy of, like, you need, like, I feel, again, it's like the go, 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 like, you need things to happen quickly, and sometimes you jump the gun so much that it's like, okay, slow down. You don't have all the parts yet. You don't need the answer now. You don't need to rush into this. Yeah. Cups. Yeah, of course. Why do I keep hearing, I hate waiting? Like, that just came in my head. I hate waiting. Yeah. There might be a part of you where it's like, okay, there might be someone in your life who's just driving you up a wall right now of just, like, it feels like finances of, like, someone who's greedy is just, like, in your life, and you're like, you are not helping my mental space right now, like, by showing off, like, how inconsiderate you are, like, get out of here. It's a very specific message that came through. But I think also something that you are struggling with is that we all do, but we compare ourselves to other people, and, like, progress, and, like, holding yourself to someone else's progress is never helpful. Yeah, and I just feel like you hate waiting, and I don't know, maybe you're waiting an offer, like, maybe you put, like, you submitted something, maybe you're applying to schools, or and you're waiting for an answer, but you're like, I hate, like, there's some anxiety about you waiting on an answer, and maybe you're waiting for someone to be honest with you, or you're waiting for a conversation to happen, and you're like, is this conversation going to come anytime soon? And I'm just hearing, be patient. But also just be mindful of your anxiety often making you jump the gun. Let's get some clarification. Clarification for our Aries out there. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. Really strong spiritual tween. Be patient, and also don't, again, the idea that came up earlier of, like, luxury, be careful if you're spending. Like, I feel like you might have been a bit indulgent in the last few weeks, but you're going to have a moment where you're like, okay, I have to be more conservative with my money. But you're very smart about your finances. But it's just a reminder that, like, you're going to reach a place where you're going to kind of feel, like, more content. I feel like you're going to come out into more financial stability, and you're just like, oh, I've been waiting for this. But yeah, again, just be conscious. I see you walking away from, you might have, like, a side job or something. Like, I saw you walking away from, like, some kind of job or some kind of thing you committed to, and just recognizing that it no longer serves you and you need to walk away. And yeah, whatever choice you're going to make of you walking away from something, it's like, that's for the best. Like, you walking away is actually going to help your mental sanity out by a lot. I don't know what that is. Listen. Yeah. And yeah, oh, yeah. It's 3 cards and 4 cards. You walking away from something is actually going to help you realize what you do want, if that makes sense. Like, this, like, the house energy of just, like, you'll see things clearly when you make the decision to let go of things that are hurting you, or letting go of people that are hurting you, or things that no longer serve you. That's actually going to open up the pathway for your future and what you've envisioned for yourself. It's like things falling into place as a result. Yeah. Yeah. No, love. That's so sweet. Yeah, I see, like, love coming through for you. But you have to make a choice. You get stuck in your head a lot. Stop putting the expectations of what it needs to be onto something. Like, let it form on its own. Come to fruition. Oh my gosh, so many cards came out. It's not right. Okay. Let's see. Let's get some final. Can we get some final clarification for our Aries out there? Yeah, something needs to change. And I'm really thinking it's like, it's your, yeah, you need to let go of like what you think things need to be and let them happen and grow organically. It's 10 Pentacles. For me, that means like the life, and like for me that means like I see like a family. Obviously there's a family there, but like finally getting the life that you've wanted and you've waited for when you let go of the expectations of where you need to be. I'm gonna actually pull some love oracle cards because I feel like love was kind of touched upon in this, and I feel like some of you are really considering your love life. So what is coming for our Aries in the month of November? And what's your Aries here for the month of February? And 10 might be a big number, is a number that keeps going up, so just be conscious of that. 10s and 4s, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, it's funny, okay. So all of these can resonate, or just one of these cards can resonate. Okay, so we have girl talk, time of friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, which kept coming up, like learn to live in the moment and having fun. And then right after, which I think is interesting, that comes after, is paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. And then I like you, someone likes you, romance is blossoming, fun flirting, want to date. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this resonates, and I hope you have a wonderful November. Take care.